Hello, everyone. Before I start, Jordan and I would love to thank you all for being here on our very, very special day. And it's one that I think we will be reminiscing on for years and years to come, and everyone's going to get tired of hearing about it, but we are so thrilled to have you all here. And before I start, I hope you've all had a chance to read your little name cards with your little tree facts at the back. If you haven't, it's a great icebreaker for later, in case you haven't managed to talk on the table. Also, I'd like to thank my mum, who has wonderfully crocheted the little treats you see on the table. Thank you. Now, she's made these lovingly and at an incredible speed. Unfortunately, she hasn't made the chocolates inside of them, but they are delicious, so please enjoy them. So before I start, I am starting now. Go. Thank you for being here to celebrate our very special day. I'd like to share my sincerest love to you all here today, because although there are many things wrong with the world today, an excess of love is not one of them. And I really do feel there's a lot of love in this marquee today. So thank you. I'm so moved to look out here and see so many of you, especially those of you that have traveled such a long way to be here with us today. From the US, from Greece, from Spain, the Midlands. Now, I would like to say, first of all, I'd like to remember my granddad, who sadly passed away a few months ago and is greatly missed by our family. And he's very much missed today, of all days. And I know he'd love to see us all here together. And I know he'd very much have liked to have gotten to know most of you. I'd like to thank the fabulous ladies that walked down the aisle today. My golden girls and beautiful bridesmaids. You're each uniquely golden. And I just want to thank you for your love and support. Not only since I asked you to be my bridesmaids, but since you each came into my life. Nadia and Hannah. Did it the wrong way there. It's like, Nadia, Hannah. Thank you for your wonderful friendship. Whether it's putting the world to rights or talking nonsense, I know I can always count on you, and our friendships have only become stronger and more special with time. You've each known me since before Jordan appeared in my life, and I knew I found someone extra special because you both gave him 2 thumbs up from the very start. And that was very important. Harriet, how lucky am I that I now have 3 sisters. Thank you for welcoming me into the Livermore home, and I've loved spending Christmases, birthdays, and Saturday nights in Suffolk with you. I know you'll continue to be a fountain of knowledge when it comes to surviving years with Jordan in the same house. At least we know that we can both tell him when the wind-ups get out of control. Emily, you've been my rock throughout my life, moving around the world, changing schools, adapting to new places. It wasn't always the easiest of processes, but you've always been there. Living with you in London for 3 years, each of us starting our careers and settling into adult life, that was precious. And I learned that you are by far the wisest person I know. Caring and so talented, you're my best friend. Thank you also for organizing one of the happiest days I've had so far in my life. My hen do was absolutely brilliant in every way. Thank you, hen. Bev and Dave. My wonderful parents-in-law.
Yes.
From the moment I stepped into your home and was warmly welcomed with a delicious homemade Toblerone cheesecake and one too many bottles of red wine, I knew I'd found my second home. Thank you for all your love and support, and I'm so excited to join the Livermore tribe. Thank you. Mommy and Papi, thank you for everything you've done over the years to give us such an exciting life. Andrea, my sister, Emily, and I have never been short of love and adventure from either one of you. Sorry. I thank you today for showing me what love and respect looks like as a couple and as a family. I love you both so much. Thank you for all the love and support you've shown Jordan and myself as a couple, and for welcoming him to our family with so much warmth. I think he's a Bingham.
Yes.
Sorry. And of course, Jordan. November 2014, you walked in through the double doors on the second floor of North One Television in Farringdon. And my life changed forever. I heard you before I saw you. And I knew I had to get to know you. Little did I know that what quickly became a friendship would become a loving, adventure-filled, and brilliantly entertaining romance. We make a good team. I like the way we step up to challenges together and never tire of each other's company. Today, I know will live in our memories as one of the most special days in our lives. To have our dearest friends and family in one place is truly incredible. I've enjoyed star and planet gazing with you in Elkie Valley, swimming in Lake Fiastra, walking for miles in Epping Forest, visiting old and beautiful churches in Suffolk, exploring London, climbing Snowdon, missing an internal flight on purpose in Chile because driving is much more fun than getting on a plane because I've got him next to me. And it's easy to get caught up in the moment with you. We didn't even notice the ground literally move. It was like a minor earthquake because we were having too much fun goofing around on a beach in La Serena, also in Chile, where the earth moves quite a lot. Your positive energy is infectious, and I've never laughed so much and so easily with anyone in my life. You've been patient and caring with me at my worst, and you make the best times all the happier by just being there living it with me. You always know exactly what to say or do to help me see things a little less cloudy and a lot clearer. I feel incredibly lucky to have you as my buddy. And even luckier today when you're looking so handsome. You're also a great cat dad. If anyone doesn't know, we've got a cat. Her name is Elkie, she's lovely. And we kind of love her a lot. Just can't stop talking about her. Anyway, I'm excited to experience our life together and whatever lies ahead, because to me you are the kindest, most exciting and lovable human being I've met in my life. And it's an honor and privilege to be your wife. I love you. So, everyone. Let's all. Love you back. Let's all raise our glasses to my friend and darling, darling husband, Jordan. Cheers. No pressure, Jordan.
The cat. Well done, cat. Following that, thank you, Catalina. That was articulate, poignant, lovely, as always, as always. I'd just like to add to Catalina's lovely words. A big thank you to everybody for being here today, as we help to celebrate this very special day for these two very fine young people. They don't come much better than Catalina and Jordan. I think you'll all agree. So, in spite of what Rob and Pete may have to say later, Jordan, you're a good one, mate. Sorry, I need a bit of help here. If those I've not met yet, I'm Mark, although we've got a new name for me now. It's called Phil, and that's father-in-law. I'm also known as Catalina's dad, father, pappy, old man. Any reasonable moniker is acceptable, as long as it's clean, because my mom's here. So anyway, you all come from far and wide, and we've heard Catalina say that, from all over the world, really. From Seattle, from San Francisco, from Spain, so from Greece. So bienvenidos de España, Carlos Ifati from Greece, and welcome everybody else. That's about as good as it gets. Wherever you've come from and whatever journey you've made to get here, thank you so much, because I just know how special today is for these two fine young people. I really appreciate everybody coming here. Some special thank yous. I thought Mark Woodrow today, the vicar, was absolutely awesome. I don't know if you all agree, but I just thought he got it spot on. You know, he got his religious message across in a very modern and forthright way, humorous in parts. I just thought he's a winner. He's going to be. I know he used to work in the insurance business. Strange change, but there you go. And I think he'll be as good a vicar as you'll ever come across. So well done, well done. I'd also like to thank Sally, Rianne, and Dave for their wonderful readings in church. I thought that was all very nice. Charlie and Toby, our fine ushers, for all your ushering. As long as you don't ush during the speeches, that's okay. No ushing. Catalina and Jordan, two fine producers. Look at this. They produced all this. They organised just about everything for this wedding. Wonderful. Future executive producers. Where's your boss? Wonderful, wonderful. I think you did. And another thanks. I think I can't stand up and talk today without thanking lovely Normita, who gave birth. Wonderful lady. 29 years ago. I didn't have much to do with that. Pacing up and down outside and the Metropolitano Hospital in Quito, Ecuador.
Yes.
Dr. Zambrano, Norma, and that was about it. I was nowhere to be seen. Pacing up and down, pacing up and down. Anyway, thank you, my darling.
You're welcome.
It's pretty tough to condense 29 years. Sorry, am I supposed to say that? 29 years of experience with Catalina into a few minutes. It really is tough. I mean, she has astounded us in so many ways, made us so proud. You know, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but Catalina has a certain thespian ability that was shown on stage in Hong Kong in front of more than 1,000 people at the tender age of about 9, when she played young Mary Haynes of the Women, and she did it just perfectly. And I think you have a talent that will always be with you, and don't forget that. You are a wonderful actress.
Thank you.
Wonderful. She also has a certain musical ability. If you've ever heard her sing, she has the sultriest, sexiest voice. Summertime. Summertime. What was it?
Temptation.
Oh, Temptation. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a microphone later
No.
tonight.
No.
Anyway,
But you
we'll
have
see.
to sing with her.
She's clearly had a very strong academic achievement as well. You know, she's done extremely well at university, a master's, and everything else. I think she puts her mind to. Catalina does well and does extremely well, and we are so proud of you in so many ways. Thank you. Your spirit of adventure and true zest for life, I think, is matched by this young man here. Right? You're perfect for each other. But that spirit of adventure has always been with you. Not just because you travelled around the world, I think it's in you, it's in your soul. But I have to say, the proudest, the reason that makes us the proudest parents on planet Earth today is the fine young lady that you've become. Very kind, very compassionate, very considerate, very loving. And you know, I know we've had our moments of disagreements along the way, and we may have a few more. I hope not. We've gotten over them, and that is a testament to you as a fine, intelligent young lady that you are. So thank you. Thank you very much. Right, there's some French speakers over there, so I'll probably get this wrong. Joie de vivre. That is very, very infectious. Your strong, positive attitude. My mom has commented on this so many times. Catalina is one of the happiest, can-do, positive people you'll ever meet. And I think that's matched by the young man sitting next to you. So, thank you, both of you. It's very contagious. Not surprising then that you two got along so well when you first met, because you are similar. You're different, but you're similar. And I think that's great. That's really great. Jordan, you embrace life. You have the same degree of energy that I think Catalina has, and you're perfectly matched. So I'd like to, with a lot of love and affection, welcome you into our family, as I'm sure you'll be welcoming us into yours. Kind of hope so. Your love for Catalina is so evident in everything that you say and you do, and I thank you for that. You know, I think I almost forgot in church today to pass the hand over to you. I had to be reminded. But I think she's in good hands. We know that, so thank you. Happiness. I'd like to talk a little bit about happiness, because these two people are very, very happy people. And I think it's something that we sometimes forget, that it's not always easy to be happy. Some people have it, some people have to work on it. There's not enough happiness in the world today. Like you mentioned, there's not enough love. And I think it's lovely to see two naturally happy people. And I hope that you stay happy. So, I'm going to cut through some of this because it's a bit boring. Cut through that one as well. You know, whatever makes you happy, because I was going to talk about that a little bit, but I'll move on. I think there's a lot of words of wisdom around happiness, and I've tried to pick a few to convey to you how I think you can continue to be happy. If that makes sense. Yeah? Okay. So, I think they sum you up. I'm going to kick off one that's a little bit Buddha-like. I know you're not Buddhists. Well, not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Still time.
And this was influenced really by Norma and Bev, because they both love butterflies. Well, and other things, but butterflies in particular. And it says, happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it eludes you. But if you turn your attention to other things, it comes and sits softly on your shoulder. I thought that was great.
That's lovely.
Or as Dale Carnegie said, success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. I think you've gotten each other. That's good. That's good. Most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Abraham Lincoln. For me, though, your continuing happiness is now a function of the new union that you've got. And so, there's a Chinese proverb that says, if you want happiness for an hour, take a nap. If you want happiness for a day, go fishing. If you want happiness for a year, inherit a fortune. But if you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone you love. That's pretty true. There's also another Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu, I think his name is. Kerry, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. He's the one who came up with the idea, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And he said, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving somebody deeply gives you courage. But for me, I'm not sure if you know the French authoress George Sand, also known as Aurore. I think she got it spot on. She said, there is only one happiness in this life, to love and to be loved. It's that simple. It really is that simple. And maybe one last one from Norma and from me. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. So keep holding on to each other. Right, I'll now make way for the more humorous speeches. And I'd like you to join Norma and me. And please charge your glasses and wish continual happiness for this fine young couple, Catalina and Jordan Livermore. Cheersing everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe that no one has said this just yet, but we're in a massive marquee. We're in a massive marquee and no one has said, welcome to the Great British Bake Off! Mark and Kat, thank you so much for your incredibly amazing speeches. They were really, really heartfelt and they came from the soul, so really thank you so much for that. Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, families, and friends and freeloaders. I'll try and keep this short and sweet so everyone can get back to their delicious drinks, but if you could just bear with me, I've got a few words that I want to say, and I'm in no way forced to do so because of tradition. So, firstly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for being with us today. We are both incredibly humbled that you could all make it, and I genuinely mean that. Each and one of you has had their special impact on us and bearing on who myself and Catalina are today, and mostly for the right reasons. Now, had I known that a promise of a meal, some wine and some dancing would be enough to entice you to all get together, I think me and Kat would have done this much sooner, so thank you very much. Now, some of you have travelled many miles over land and sea, by plane and boat, just to be here today, and we're incredibly grateful. No matter how far you've travelled today, it wouldn't be possible without you being here. And well done for Charlie and to Toby, who's just popping in now. There he is. who not only made sure that you were sat in the correct positions at the church, but got you all here in one piece, which I think is a miracle. So well done, guys. That's brilliant. So also thanks to Sally and to Dad, and of course Ree, for their beautiful readings at the church. They're absolutely amazing. I think you'll agree with me there. Absolutely phenomenal. And also thank you to the wonderful Jane Addis. She actually that confetti that you were throwing in my face was courtesy of Jane. She actually grew all the confetti in her back garden. So on the confetti tree. So obviously Friends are a huge part of who me and Catalina are, and they say that friends are the family of the 21st century. So the first toast goes out to you lot. So please turn to your neighbour and raise your glass. This is to you. Fuck the wedding. They're having a great time.
Hazel.
Eyes on the prize.
Brilliant.
That's a great time.
Coming on your table.
Right.
I'm coming on your table.
Well, obviously there's quite a lot of people I want to thank, so I want to start right. Yeah, get a move on. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. Now, some of you may be aware that I was born. It's these two absolute legends who you've got to thank for that. Any time that I've ever annoyed you, been irritating, or generally just winding you up for a laugh, they're the ones to blame. So feel free to corner them a little bit later in the night. Yeah, say your 2 cents. They're both incredibly. They're both incredible people.
Yeah, we are.
I know. And I want to thank them. I want to thank them for everything they've done for me.
Yeah.
They let me be myself when I was growing up, possibly to their detriment. Now, Mum. We're going to get through this. Mum is an absolute rock star. She's my rock and has always been there for me. From the days from picking me up after falling off the swing in the back gardens, just a few days when I was worrying about how the creases in my shirt looked. She's selfless in every way, and I've got an undying respect for her. I've always wanted to do you proud. And I can't wait for you to be even more proud when I feast on that cake you bought everyone for the wedding. Oh yeah, she made it. She just bought it. That brings me on to Dad.
Oh, God.
Now, you've always believed in me and given me advice when I need it most, and your positive outlook on the world is something which I've been blessed with. I've always looked up to you, except for that time your little sailing boat managed to run us aground in. We had basically Dad crashed into a sandbank whilst on his boat, and we ended up spending the night in Brightlingsea, just covered in old sails because we obviously didn't have any duvets or anything. We were shivering away. But what I distinctly remember about that moment is that, although it was terrible, I mean it was awful, was that we had a limited amount of sails and that you gave me the lion's share, and you just wanted to make sure that I was You're a selfless man. Those around them happiest. Even today, you've outdone yourself by ensuring everyone in this marquee has a near limitless supply of wine. I'm so happy that you're here today. You're happy and healthy. As you may know, Dad was a little bit ill earlier in the year. And it hasn't been a particularly easy time for any one of us, for anyone in our family. But once again, he triumphed in the face of adversity, and he got given the all clear just last month. So, I do want to to Beverly and Dave. Which brings me on to the people who looked after Dad during his tough time. From the doctors and nurses to the surgeons and chemotherapy specialists, the NHS absolutely outdid themselves. Now, as Kat briefly mentioned, Kat's granddad can't be here today, but he had the absolute best people looking after him. And since December last year, myself and Catalina have spent some time in and out of hospital as Kat sustained an unexpected knee injury last December. But again, she has been given world-class care, from the paramedics that came to the rescue through to the physios that she's been with these past months. I'd like everyone to be upstanding and toast the unbelievable superhumans that are the NHS. Yeah! To the NHS!
Yes, NHS!
All day long.
Yes,
NHS. All day long.
To the NHS.
Right, next I'd like to say a big thank you to and hello to my new family. Thank you to Mark and Norm for your love and support and generosity. In fact, you've been so fantastic in the build-up to the wedding that anyone might have thought that you couldn't wait to give Catalina away. You really have made me feel part of the family from the first day we met. Now, to clear something up, Mark has a twin brother, David, who's here today. So if you happen to have a conversation later tonight and he glazes over,
He's probably asleep.
you probably got the wrong brother. In fact, the first time I met Mark and Norm's, we got on fire. Literally, after Norma managed to set a hair alight, thanks to a rogue tea light candle in the pub. Yeah, that was a very eventful first introduction. Her hair actually caught on fire.
Yeah.
I could have also had, we had a heated discussion. Thankfully, we didn't have a blazing row. It was a close coal. But Well, as you know, as briefly touched on, that Kat and her family have never had the traditional home life that most families would be used to. Norms and Mark met in their jobs at Coca-Cola and went travelling from city to city, country to country, whether it was Hong Kong, Atlanta, Madrid, or anywhere in between. It couldn't have been a straightforward task in bringing up a family. But Mark and Norma, I've never... Mark and Norma, I've never really said this to you, but thank you for raising such kind, intelligent, thoughtful, conscientious and caring daughter. Having spent a lot of time with you both on separate occasions, it's clear to see where she gets these incredible qualities from. Thanks for bringing up with the most incredible set of values, and of course for letting her have her hand in marriage. She really is the best product to emerge from Coca-Cola. I'm absolutely honoured to spend the rest of my life with a daughter you born and raised. So please, could you raise a glass to my brand new, shiny in-laws, Mark and Norma.
Team Hazel.
Which now brings me on to this special person who I met a few years ago at work, who absolutely took my breath away. Peter Richardson. Now, me and Pete met and work in TV, and we work in various hit shows, such as Gadget Man, It's Me or the Car, or the utter hell that is Jeremy Clarkson's Grand Tour. We've gone on to be best mates despite that last one. But there's someone just as special, and that is Rob. My best man who introduced me to the true meaning of friendship. Now, both these guys are top blokes And just the other week, they were drowning me in a river in Wales. Like I say, they're really nice guys. So let me start by saying both these guys have incredibly massive hearts. Rob very much took over my formative years. We went to the same school, we had the same interests, we hung out in the same group of mates, and we discovered booze at the same time. So cheers to that. During our time growing up, Rob was always there. He always had my back when times got a bit tough, whether it was not achieving the results from an exam or problems elsewhere. He always offered advice and the more important queries in life. And he was always there to talk to at times what was a very lonely place. He was the one who convinced me to go to university to study that Mickey Mouse media production degree, to move to London, to pursue my dreams of working in television and ultimately shape the person who I am today. He also taught me never to waste my time during arguments, because I'll never win. It's an important life lesson there somewhere. Now he's directly responsible for meeting this guy, Pete, who when we first met was working on reception at North One Television. A few weeks later we were meeting up for lunches, going for dinners, going for bars, and looking after one another during terrible hangovers, and a few years later going on a holiday to sunny Brighton. Oh, Birmingham, sorry. But that story is for another time. He's an absolute top bloke and a heck of a dancer, which I'm sure you get to see a little bit later on. Look out for that guy. Now, both of these guys are the most sweetest, most thoughtful, empathetic chaps that anyone could hope to meet, and I feel privileged to have them both here today as my best men. So please raise your glasses to Rob and Pete. I'm going to pass you over to them now, who I'm sure are going to say something equally as nice, if not nicer. But before I do that, I've got something to say about this person's left of me. Oh, if I get through this, it'll be a miracle. Right, okay, let's do this. Firstly, let me say how jaw-droppingly incredibly good looking you are. You're absolutely stunning. You're absolutely stunning. I have no idea where to start, but the beginning probably makes the most sense. Back in 2014, like you mentioned, I came here for an interview at a company very close to my heart, North One, and it was there where I met you. And her icebreaker was, I've heard so much about you. And you can imagine the sheer feeling of panic and terror that was in my heart and my face. Christ. But thankfully, the people that she spoke to, who were, I think, just sat over there-ish, hello. They'd done a fantastic job of telling me my best bits, and it was enough to be able to convince her on a Sunday evening at a Christmas do, where we shared a couple of roast dinners and a cheese board and copious amounts of wine, almost as much as there is here today. I woke up the next day with the most incredible hangover. But a text from Kat on my phone the following day, confirming I hadn't made a total fool of myself. That message instantly made my hangover disappear. Like most people, I was drawn in by a beautiful accent. I thought she was from Scotland or Ireland. I've always been good with my geography. I'm sure my stag group will tell you, having spent the first day of my stag, convinced I was in Manchester, despite quite obviously being in Liverpool. So you can imagine when she started to tell me that she was born in Ecuador and raised all over the world in several cities, my face was a new shade of red. As I got to know her, one thing stood out above everything else. She looks at the best in people. Whether it be talking with a friend who might be feeling a bit down, or a homeless person, she will always leave a conversation making someone feel better about themselves. And I'm no exception. You brighten my world by being in it. Whether it's a curious thought you've had, or something as simple as pulling a funny face, you'll never fail to make me smile. I'm not the smartest bloke in the world. I'm not in any way sportingly gifted. I'm not rich. and I'm far from perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but you've managed to erase every single one of them because they eventually all led me to you. I will be here for the good times, I'll be here for the hard times, and I'll be here for the exciting times. I'll be here for the laughter and the tears, the births and the deaths, the latest series on Netflix, as well as the season finales. I love what me and you have made here today with our friends and family, and I'm honoured to be spending the rest of my life with you. So I can add another name to the list of nicknames of Rabs, Rabbit, Squish, Cuddles, Sunshine, Moon and Flowers, Kisses, Squishy, Wonderful, Mi Carino, Mi Amor, Gorgeous, Babe, Koala, Muffin, Lovely Chops, Honey, Alicious, Freckles, My Spiral, Fiance Phase, Lommel, and now my wife. Charge your glasses to my beautiful wife.
Right. I don't know about you. But I was kind of expecting dessert before the speeches, but you know, we just have to roll with punches, don't we? Anyway, so okay, welcome to the Best Man speech. Me and Pete. What, is there a microphone?
Yeah, there is. Do you want a mic?
Do you actually want a microphone?
Whatever you like.
Yes. Okay. Mic drop. Ha ha.
Someone else.
Get here. What?
Carry on.
It's the best moment. So over the whole day, this is the best moment.
Jordan.
Could just forget about the microphone.
There's no microphone.
Should we forget about microphone?
All right.
Sit down.
Okay, he tried.
All right, sit down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Loud.
So, if you don't know,
Really?
I'm Rob. I've been. These are my best mates over here. So, cheers, mates. So, I've actually been friends with Jordan for about 20 years. I've known Jordan. I'm 33, by the way. I've known Jordan practically my whole life. There's about a 10-year gap. There's about a 10-year gap where I wasn't friends with Jordan. So I saw Jordan around the village, and I saw this over enthusiastic nerdy kid. Bev, I love you.
I love you too.
I love your son, but he was a massive nerd. As I learned, so am I. But I've known Jordan pretty much my whole life, but I've only been friends with him for 20 odd years. And basically, what happened was, remarkably, coincidentally, we became friends around 13 years of age, I think. It coincided with the release of Perfect Dark. So I don't know if you know what Perfect Dark is, but it was the latest video game. You look at me like that, but you know what I'm talking about. So basically, Perfect Dark was the latest video game. Jordan had it, I didn't. And basically, what happened from there was, I became really good friends with Jordan. I haven't even looked at this yet, so. Okay. Okay. So, that's fine. So. So. Oh my God. Really well. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. Right, we all know that Pete's speech can be better than mine. So basically, from then on, me and John were practically inseparable. Okay, so we're all around each other's houses. I'm really sorry, Bev and Dave. I was around there practically 24/7. Okay, so that's fine. I can't turn the paper. I've had a lot to drink, so I apologise. So, moving on to school life. So, the way this is going to work, I should have spoke about this earlier, but basically, I know Jordan through the early years, Pete knows him through the later years. So I'm pretty much taking his from age 13 to say 21, something like that. Yeah, so basically moving on to his school life, I'm actually the school year above Jordan. So I saw him come to Great Cornard Upper School, now known as Thomas Gainsborough. You know, don't know about that, but that's fine. It's been renamed. But basically, I saw Jordan arrive at the school. I think he was a bit worried. It was a bit of a new school, a bit of a big school. But through this school, I really saw him come out of his shell, and I think it really laid the foundation that I see today. Many of his closest friends are here today. So.
That was why.
Yeah, why?
Toby, Luke over there, Simon, Rich, Heine, Ben, and there's actually some more in the lower years, but I wasn't really friends with. But so, like Matt Johnston over there, my mate. Oh, massive boy. I love Matt, so it's fine. So, over time, his confidence and the enthusiasm became unexhaustible, and that's probably a quality that we all know in Jordan. It came to a point that actually a teacher, I think it was a teacher, correct me if I'm wrong, actually starting to refer to him as Comedy Jordan. Yeah. So he absolutely loved this nickname, and he started referring to himself as Koj. He loved it so much. He started insisting that pupils and teachers alike would call him Comedy Jordan. But there you are. So he graduated to Sixth Form College, and I have to say that at that point he was actually liked by teachers and pupils universally. He was Jordan. So later on, he moved on to university, and he was a bit worried about how he was going to get to university. And he really got a great place at Lincoln University. Okay. Excuse me. Got to turn the page. It's not. I really don't care at this point, so it's fine. So he got his place at Lincoln University, and you might not know this, but he actually got a first-class degree. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure these guys will, but I'm not sure that any of our guys got a first-class degree. So. I'm sure Ben or someone will fucking correct me, but sorry. Yeah. So from university, he moved on to TV, and I'm kind of stepping on Pete's toes when I talk about TV. But from then on, he's grown from strength to strength, and he's actually in a job that he loves, and that is really unusual in this day and age.
So you don't love your job, Rob?
I really hate it. If you want to hate project management in a software environment, let me know. So he got first class at Lincoln. He's done really well. And I think I've been really quite fair to him at this point. What do you think, Pete?
Alright, okay.
Well, I haven't finished yet. You think Yeah, well, that's how I roll.
Yes, Pete.
So, I think I've been pretty fair to you so far, Jordan. So I've got some stories to tell. So, this was before my time. This is around the time that I didn't really want to associate with Jordan. But I hear on very good authority that when he was very young, he phoned the fire brigade.
Yeah. Simon Sam.
So
I can't tell a lie.
he phoned the fire brigade and then hung up immediately. And he carried on, I don't know, playing what he played with. I don't know, Lego. But he ended up with the fire brigade outside his house after he called them, much to his and his parents' surprise. I think the fire chief gave him a good talking to, and I've been quoted by Toby over there as saying that if he did it again, he would end up in a place called prison. It's all good. So that happened. So, Kat, can I just recommend, if you need to call the emergency services, I recommend that you do it. Right, another story from his childhood was, and I don't think you're going to get this, Jordan. So basically, there was a school bully, and his name was Lloyd.
Oh, everyone knows that. I have no idea.
Jane, it was Lloyd Pryor. Lloyd Pryor?
Tell Jane, she knows.
So basically, Lloyd Pryor, for some reason, would give Jordan a load of crap every time he went on the bus.
Oh, I know this story.
He's not here, is he?
So basically, I lived in the same village as Jordan, and every morning we'd get on the bus together, and Lloyd would give him the same crap time and time again. So basically, this one day, Jordan got on the bus, Lloyd launched him the same routine, and Jordan smacked him square in the face. I have to say, I think Lloyd was just as shocked as we were. I was literally behind him, and I literally couldn't believe it. Oh, it was good. All right, the last story, and this is the one I'm going to get in trouble for. Apart from all this I've said already, and you know, fine. Oh dear. So, back when we were teenagers, this is like 15 years ago. He's trying to work out what I'm about to say. He's trying to work it out. So back 15 years ago, it was the heyday of the internet chat rooms. He bloody knows. He knows exactly what it is.
I called him a naughty boy.
By the way, how this speech has gone, I'm absolutely fine. I really don't mind. So basically, heyday, Bev and Dave, take a drink. It's fine. So basically, in the heyday, in the internet chat room, Jordan used to call himself after his hero, Batman. One day, a lady started talking to him. So, if you know DC Comics, then Batman was quite, familiar with a girl called Catwoman. Him and Catwoman are actually send quite a few amorous messages between each other. Quite a few flirty messages between each other. Later on, Catwoman revealed her true identity, which was me.
messages.
Can I just say that it was conflicted whether I talk about that story or not. It was like a 2-to-1 majority. So I'm really sorry about that. Okay, I've humiliated him enough. I apologise for that. Not really. Sorry, not to. But Jordan and Kat, I think you're perfect for each other. I think you'd be happy for us to be alive. And I love you guys. And now it's Pete's turn.
One night out with him because the guy's a maniac. I have once watched this guy after one drink rub mayonnaise into his own eyeball. After 2 drinks, spray aftershave directly into mine. Literally directly. I thought I was going to be blinded. He couldn't stop laughing. You were there. He couldn't stop laughing. Eventually, nor could I once we realised I wasn't permanently blind. I'd love to say that's the only way he doesn't damage my eyesight. Sadly, it brings me on to my next topic, which is one of Jordan's favourite pastimes, which is one of Jordan's favourite pastimes is to show me little Jordan.
Hey, let's see it.
Be it through a picture message when I wake up, or just walking into a room after I hear him, Pete, going, there it is. Funnily enough, the first time I happened upon this weird occurrence was the first shoot we ever did together. We shared a room, and I was woken up to, don't look, I'm naked. And I was like, why are you telling me you're naked? Why are you naked? And crucially, why did I ever agree to share a room with you? I felt like I had to share this with you to give you a tiny glimpse into what Kat has to deal with every day. And it's important to know what she's talking about when she says that Jordan makes her laugh every single day. So, as I touched upon there, Jordan and I obviously know each other through TV. And if you know about TV work, it's obviously a freelance world where you kind of meet new people and, you gain experiences meeting, people from all over the place. But wherever I seem to go, I hear the cackle of laughter down the hall, and I know he's followed me. And if I don't hear that cackle, I hear the pitter-patter of spray as he laughs and it hits my glasses. Which, on that subject, I'd like to apologise to everyone on the first 3 tables because you're in something I like to call the Jordan splash zone. So along with your own dinner, I'm sure you enjoyed some of Jordan's, so I apologise on your behalf. Jordan's obsessed with my glasses, and he probably doesn't know this, but I only wear them to kind of protect myself when he gets over enthusiastic, which he so often does. All in all, I have loved working with you, Jordan. You're a constant source of entertainment. The pranks that we can pull on you have been amazing. I once worked on a show with Peter Andre, where we managed. No one saw it. It didn't get commissioned. So don't lie. You didn't see it. But yeah, I managed to convince Jordan that we had to call him by a different name because Peter Andre was so sensitive about his divorce from the glamour model Jordan at the time. Jordan was ready to walk off set. He had enough. He was like, I can't do this. I had to get the director involved to convince him it was just a joke. So Jordan jumped on my bed until it broke as a way of showing his anger at me, which pretty much sums up our relationship. I like to think that I'm Peter Andre of TV with the abs, and he's Jordan, just a big tit. A few years ago, Jordan released a YouTube series called TV Coach. Obviously there's fans in. I knew there would be, seeing as it went viral with 27 views in just 2 years. Jordan touched on subjects so exciting like CVs and first interviews. As you can imagine, the audiences were riveted. But I'd like to go into the special edition, which is coming out pretty soon, which actually features what Jordan's really like at work. One of the chapters is called Bored on a Commute, Hit 100 miles an hour in a Ford Fiesta. One of the scariest times of my life. Want to be taken seriously in TV? Drag your colleague to the floor by the neck in front of your boss. Again, it genuinely happened. And this is special for the wedding because he was apparently on a wedding diet at the time, but the real diet was the 4 Greg sausage rolls every day for a week. 4. They come in a pack.
That's my secret. Oh, you got
and DVDs are £3 a pop, so come see me after the first dance. I've cut out all that press up shit that you put in, and it looks great. The world of TV obviously is where he also met the second most important person in his life, which is Kat. For all the silliness and crazy antics, I've never seen Jordan so serious about anything as he is about Kat. They've been through some tough times in recent years, and you know, when Kat hurt her knee, I've never seen anyone so attentive and as passionate about making her okay as Jordan was, and it was truly a beautiful thing. And obviously Jordan and his family have been through some tough times this year, and I know from what he's told me that Kat has been his absolute rock. So for all the taking the mick out of Jordan and his silliness, I would actually like to raise a toast to one of the best person I know, and his wife, to Jordan and Kat.
Oh, it's stuck on the floor!
Oh, you. Well done, guys. Really good. Really good. Well done.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Please return to your drinks.
And there's dessert coming, don't worry.